This is big unit strength, phase 1 push day. Okay, so we're gonna start with the barbell bench press. So Martin, you can hop in there. So this is the first warm-up set. So the weight will be quite comfortable. There's a few really important teaching points on the bench press that a lot of people get wrong. If you get them wrong, you're gonna be weaker and find it hard to progress the exercise. If you get them right, you're gonna find it a lot easier to increase your bench press, which everyone wants to do. So you can start there. So just the first point is you want his feet to be behind his knees. Again, a really simple one, but if your feet are all over the place moving or even skipping forward or kicking up as you're doing the lift, you're gonna be a lot weaker. You might feel like you're getting a bit of a kick or a little bit of momentum out of it, but you're not. You're actually making yourself weaker. So the second point is you wanna grab the bar as tight as you can. Charles Poliquin always said that on the bench press, it's a push exercise. So people forget that you want to have as tight a grip as possible like you would on a pull-in exercise where it's obvious you have to squeeze or you have to pull the bar. So you want to squeeze the bar so tight like you're trying to make it like a straw. Squeeze, 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 and what that's going to do is activate higher threshold motor units or more muscle fibers very simply. So push your head into the bench and press up. This is the top set. So again, grab the bar as tight as you can. I'm not going to spot him on this because most of you won't have spotters when you're bench pressing. Feet behind the knees, squeeze your glutes, push your knees out hard as you can, and push your head into the bench. It's going to go a really tough set. Make sure your tailbone, your ass stays on the bench. Grab the bar as tight as you can, and as you're pressing up as hard as you can, make sure you push your head into the bench. Okay, so don't be lifting your chin off, push your head into the bench. Let's go one more rep. You have one more rep in you. Good. Top set and drive, 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 drive. Excellent. Hold on. Good. So as you push the envelope a bit on your top set, your technique will start to break down a little bit. That's fine, just as long as it's not dangerous, as long as you don't risk getting stuck under the bar. So each week you want to be increasing the weight or the number of reps you're doing with the same weight just a little bit, and for most people that's achievable most of the time. You know, far too many people think I've hit my limit on a bench press or a squat or whatever. You can progress either the weight or just one more rep with the same weight almost every week for a long time. I do it with my clients every week for their first 18 months of training. These are chest dips, so you have a few simple changes in a chest dip than a normal dip, okay? And these were done by Vince Granda at the start to emphasize the chest more than the triceps. So hop in there. So the first thing is you go a little bit wider. So if you were facing the other way, you'd usually be going a little bit narrower. So if you go wider, it means your elbows flare out a little bit more and you get more of a stretch on your chest. Second thing, chin down, legs forward. Okay, and go for 10 reps. Real low, real low, real low, big stretch. Because the bottom part of a dip is where your chest stretches the most, that's what you want to emphasize. Good, chin down and squeeze up. Good, keep the legs forward and squeeze up. Good, and one more. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Excellent. So as you'll see there, as you get to failure, it's your chest that's really struggling and your chest that's getting worked the hardest, as opposed to a normal tricep dip where your legs are at the back and you're locking out at the top. It's always your triceps that you feel the most. So just those subtle changes in the position of your upper body, the position of your legs, you'll be able to handle far less weight. Even if you're very strong with weighted normal dips, you'll be able to handle far less weight and you'll be able to work your chest a lot harder. This is the standing face pull. So you can start there, Mike. This is a massive favorite for the programs here at the gym. There's a few ways to do it. So for this variation, we're going to pull up even higher than that, Martin. So higher to your hairline, even higher to your fringe, and your head back, exactly. So when you go higher, you're going to externally rotate more, and it's going to be even healthier for the shoulder. So make sure even higher, squeeze, and you can see that position at the end is the external rotation. So it's the exact opposite position of when you're sitting down on a desk or sitting down looking at your phone. So that's why it's so healthy for your shoulder. And if you're doing heavy bench pressing, you want to be doing a lot of external rotation exercises. Even with light weight, they're going to make a huge difference to the health of your shoulders long term. So squeeze the rope tight as you can and externally rotate. So that'll make, if you're trying to externally rotate, you'll use less weight than if you're just doing the variation like this. But again, it'll be healthier for your shoulders long term. So head back and go for 5 more reps. Do higher rep sets, 12, 15, 20. Burn it out on the rear delts and your traps. And I prefer this grip, but you can do it with both grips. So this grip means hands like this. Your hands on it. That can be quite confusing at the start when people start using that grip at first. But I find it's easier to get into that external rotation position. This is the standing lat raise, so you can grab the weight there, man. So this is a simple exercise, but it can be tricky to get right at the start. There's a couple of main teaching points. So bring your hands to the front and start in that position. So his hands like this at the start of the movement makes a big difference, because if his hands are out to the side, it can often end up being a flailing exercise, and it doesn't really work the shoulders the way you want it to at all. Okay, so let's go. So the main thing we want to do here is make sure that the elbows always stay higher than the wrists. So bring out a little bit wider, come out wider towards me, bend the arms or straighten the arms a little bit more. Exactly. Chest up, shoulders back. That's better. Good. Chest up, shoulders back. And lift the elbows even higher. And remember, at the bottom, make sure your hands go like this and all the way up. Super, that's a lot better. So you can see there, the movement is a lot more fluid, and he's isolating his side delts a lot better. Squeeze up. And go for 5 more. High rep sets to really isolate that small muscle at the side of the shoulder that can make a big difference to the look of your physique. Done. This is the last exercise of the 3 in the tri set. So we have face pulls, lat raise, plate raise. I do this tri set all the time myself. I absolutely love it. My shoulders were a weak point, and I definitely brought them up a lot doing this once or twice a week for the last 2-3 years. So grab the plate, nice and tight, very simple exercise. I got this off Paul Carter on Instagram, and this first time I did it, I just felt it work my shoulders, my traps and my chest in a way that I don't with other exercises. You want to bring it up not quite as high, so just above your fringe, and in that continuous motion. Good. Squeeze up, squeeze up. So it's going to work your front delts, your chest and your traps. And I would do 3 sets of 15 to 20 once or twice a week. And again, it's made a huge difference to the look of my upper body. Even higher. And go 5. So after your compound lifts, your dips, dumbbell presses, bench presses, it's a perfect movement to finish off your shoulders and chest. Good.